last game day of the group phase here at the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal, as we bring you the second game of our Saturday triple header. And we finally see the debut of Zamboanga's Janjan Velisilda going up against his former teammate in Steve Nash Enriquez. And they will lock horns once again, this time here at the pro ranks. At yan nga po, si Janjan Velisilda ready to go for Zamboanga as he adds firepower to this promising lineup of Coach John Sia. But also featured here in this game is the homecoming of the Pride of Cainta, Jordan Santa Ana, now playing for Zamboanga as he tries to make an impression in front of his home fans. Yan po ang ating second game. It's the Pasay Voyagers going up against the Zamboanga Sikat dito sa MPBL Preseason Invitational 2026. Magandang hapon mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Christian Luanzon at courtside. We have Miss Mika Abisamis and Coach Chris. These two teams, they bowed out of the playoffs in the first round last season. So what do you make of the moves they made as they gear up for this 8th season?
Well, let's start with Zamboanga, the coaching change. Excellent choice, and I mean that, not being biased. You know, Coach John Sia, obviously we have history, but he's the right man for the job. I think they still have to retool their roster. I still think they need a dynamic wing who could attack in transition and score the basketball. Knock-knock, Warlo Batak. And Pasay, you talk about Pasay, a team, Coach Marlon Martin, a proven coach in this league. He's looking to get over the hump, you know, trying to get his team to the second round, I believe,
Yeah.
which he has yet to achieve. So I'm sure that's a challenge, you know, not only for him, but, you know, for the city of Pasay.
And shout out to everyone who's watching us live on our official MPBL YouTube channel. And the Pasay Voyagers, they had chances of advancing here in the group phase. Unfortunately, ran into the San Juan Knights in a game that was very defense-oriented. Coach Chris, Pasay though, only managing to score 20 points in the first half.
Well, it's just unfortunate for Pasay because the previous game, which was Quezon for San Juan, they poked the bear. And the bear was widely awake against Pasay. You see the numbers. You know, the 12 three-pointers, care of Abadjano and Soberano, who was the best player of the game. They just couldn't guard their talented guards. Talk about itong Pasay. So I'm sure that's something to address because they're going to face Mike Are and Paeng Are, two of the talented guards we have also in the league.
And talking about Zamboanga on the other side, it's been an uncertain start for them here in the preseason, but they managed to rack up wins, including one against Caloocan. But here, against the D-League team, they struggled a bit in the first quarter, but managed to outscore the D-League team by 15 points in the second quarter. Dun na sila tuluyang lumayo.
Only a 3-point game after the first quarter, as you mentioned, but that second quarter had a huge second quarter, 25 to 10, and they were able to create separation because of the play of Renz Gabat, who had 14 of the 25 points with them. And I'm missing a name, and that's John Galinato. Also, 14 of the 25 points, and they never looked back. Obviously, they were in control from start to finish, which was a game that it was just one of those days where they took care of business.
And these two teams wanting to close out their preseason on a high note. Pasay versus Zamboanga in our second game. Punta na natin si Richard Campos for our starting lineups.
Matchup, Pasay Voyagers versus Zamboanga Sikat here at the One Arena. Manny Pacquiao's MPBL 2026 Preseason Invitational. Let's carry on first the starting five for the Pasay Voyagers. Guard number 16, Jello Santiago. Playing center number 42, Leon Martel. Forward number 25, Moon de la Cruz. The other forward number 2, Mark Parks. Point guard number 13, Steve Nash Enriquez. They are led by Marlon Keith Martin. Assistant coaches, Vic Escudero, Hubert de los Santos, Willie Generalao of Park Place Subdivision San Isidro with Brian Orog and Kat Tenorio. Coaching consultant, Cholo Martin, the team honors, Raul Bacalzo, Mickey Ligot, Lavin Castro, JD Castro, and Lian Calixto Rubiano. Now for the Zamboanga, Sikat. At forward number 22, Arthur Calisay. The other forward number 13, Paul Turco. Playing center number 11, Dave Bernabe. Starting at guard number 4, Paeng Are. And at point guard number 3, the Hawkeye, Achi Inigo. The head coach is John Sia. His assistants are Tay Hermoso, Mab Caro, 30 Caro, and Joseph Hiso. Team manager Martin Go. Team owner is Zamboanga City, Honorable Congresswoman Kat Chua. Referees for this ball game are crew chief
Starting in the
Alan
backcourt
Manzano.
for Pasay, the NU duo of Steve Nash Enriquez and Jello Santiago. Up front, Lian Martel, Munmun de la Cruz, and Mark Parks. Para naman sa Zamboanga, Achi Inigo, Paeng Are, Dave Bernabe, Paul Turco, and Arthur Calisay. Pasay in white, Zamboanga in orange, and the tip going to the Voyagers.
And as you say that, obviously, makulay itong larong natin. Literal.
Oo. Iba-iba yung kulay na nakikita natin. Bihirang-bihira to, no? See here, Lian Martel throw the ball away, however. So, Josh Lazaro and Janjan Felicilda will be coming off the bench. At
Who was the second name that you mentioned?
Josh Lazaro,
No, the second. Si Lazaro, kilala ko yan. At Ateneo yan. Sino yung isa?
si Janjan Felicilda.
Okay.
Tama
Felici-
naman yung
Tama,
sabi ko, di ba?
Janjan Felicidad.
I'm just checking
Tama.
myself.
Janjan Felicidad. Okay.
Enriquez gives it up to Munmun de la Cruz. So 4 NU guys together in the floor, together with Lian Martel. Santiago. De la Cruz hand off to Martel. He takes a free, second remaining on the shot clock. Battle for the rebound controlled by Zamboanga. Paeng Are was huge in that upset win of Zamboanga against Caloocan. Playing on the road, that was a big win for them as Calisay jacks up a free off the heel. Dave Bernabe corrals the miss. Paeng Are, bounce pass to Dave Bernabe. Shot is good from mid-range.
Almost 2 minutes into it, and finally somebody scores. These two teams, decent defensively. I think Zamboanga is a team that's improving each game,
Yeah.
Especially after that inspirational win against Caloocan.
Enriquez, layo nito. Not even close on that shot. He was quite upset with the lack of movement on that possession. Marlon Martin in his 5th season with Pasay. At lahat to, apart from season 2, pumasok sila sa playoffs. But still, yet to break onto the second round itong Pasay Voyagers. But a lot of promise coming in with these new acquisitions that they have. Drop pass ni Achi Inigo. Paul Turco in traffic, can't finish, but the putback is there for Paul.
Gets it on a second try. Nice reject of the ball screen by Inigo, able to break down and draw another defender.
Mark Parks.
Fouled by Calisay.
Yeah, that bump out of possession by Arthur Calisay. By the way, former teammates in CEU going up against each other. Dave Bernabe and Jello Santiago. Of course, Jello Santiago, prior to moving to NU, won a championship with CEU under Coach Chico Manapan. De la Cruz inside. Goes up and got fouled. He will head to the line for 2 shots.
And that's really more on Bernabe. He was on the help side that time. You cannot allow the offensive player, especially if you're helping to split the defense. And if you're Turco, which was called for a foul, Just got to put your hands up and hold your ground.
Nakaupo na finally itong Pasay after De La Cruz hitting his first free throw. Money Pay is the digital wallet built for the community. For two at the line. Pitch ahead. Kalisa in stride. Can't finish. Santiago comes away with a rebound. Bola na agaw ni Achi Inigo. Ahead to Paeng Are. And lays it up and in. 6-2. Zamboanga with an early 4-point lead.
And you see the intention of Coach John of how he wants this space, whether it's a make or a miss basket, because he knows, because of as Enriquez gets his first two, he knows that the advantage, considering yung mga materyales na meron siya, mas may advantage siya kapag lamang siya sa fast break. No?
Yeah. Marks in transition though. Pasay tying this thing up at 6 apiece. But to your point, Coach Chris, yun yung sobrang naging key in that win against Caloocan. They kept pushing the pace even with made baskets by Caloocan. They were just there thriving in transition, and particularly the Are brothers wreaked havoc in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Achi Inigo showing the range and the touch.
And the arrow, isa pa lang yan, is out already early in this game. A turnover by Nash. Good stop of the basketball by Parks.
Achi swings it to Paul Turco. Nice pivot move. Got it back again. We'll head to the line for 2 shots.
That was a good effort by Turco, but I thought he missed Bernabe on the high-low because Bernabe sprinted down, early seal, and he had Steve Nash and Enriquez on him. But nonetheless, I love the aggressiveness early by this guy on the line, Paul Turco.
Played for the Benil Blazers. Paul Turco gets the first shot. Their leading rebounder last season. Ito si Paul Turco. Under 6 minutes left. 10-6 after that missed free throw. Enriquez magdidimon para sa Pasay. That's Achi Inigo. Play a little slow to develop here for Pasay. They swing it. De La Cruz to Santiago. Pull-up jumper off the mark. Achi Inigo grabs the rebound. Kalisay gets it up to Paul Turco. Almost at the halfway point of the first quarter. Bernabe. Puntahan si Paeng Are. 7 seconds left. Turco lines it up for 3. Umalog palabas.
Excellent challenge by Steve Nash to bother the shot of Turco.
The Hesse baseline drive. Santiago straight away 3 is good.
And what a play on both ends by Steve Nash. He was the one responsible for the miss by Turco, rotating from the corner to the slot, and then responsible obviously for the drive and kick for the Santiago 3.
Fabulous jumper. Pulling up from 15 feet. Ito si Paeng Are. 12-9. Zamboanga still clinging on to this lead. Up by 3. Parks. One shot off by Kalisay. Santiago susubong ulit sa 3. Wala. Kalisay crossing the timeline. In front is Mark Parks. Paeng Are thought about it against Jello Santiago. Bernabe offering that screen. The catch, pass outside, Kalisay, 2 guys challenging him. Left that one short. Quickly, Pasay, Enriquez, De La Cruz. Good hands by Zamboanga. Ball will stay with Pasay.
Nice stop there of the fast break. You would think De La Cruz, after the recipient of a nice feed from Steve Nash, but the active hands, and more importantly, walling up without fouling, stopping the break. Now you get a chance to set your defense because of that deflection of the inbounds. Pasok na si Jan Felicilda.
Ayan.
From, ikaw na magsabi.
Ba't ikaw ayaw mo? Felicilda pitching it ahead to Baeng. Are umikot. Marks deflecting it out of bounds. The former NU Bulldog and UP Fighting Maroon.
Mali ka dyan.
Bakit?
Ball pop. Oo, tama.
1 year siya
1 year
sa
pala siya.
NU. Ikaw talaga eh.
Nakalimutan ko yun. Sorry ah.
Nag-abot sila ni Nash daw doon.
Naalala ko lang kasi mga taon na nasa final shot ng championship.
Sige. Sige. Galicia.
Nakalimutan ko tanongin to si Janjan eh. Yung idol ba niya si Danny Siegel? Number 42 yung number.
Short stab from Turco. Wala. Luciano, one of the guys who played a key role in that win against Caloocan, getting the putback and bonus free throw coming up.
Ito, sinasabihan ni Luciano, kita na sa replay. No? Ayan yung pagsugot. Yung foul, 3-point play. Kinausap kagad niya si Turco kasi libre siya sa gitna. Hindi siya napasahan, in-explain niya na mabuti. Pero maganda doon, no? Dahil ibang player minsan hindi na mapasahan. May tampururot masyado. Siya hindi siya nagtampo. Kumuha ng offensive rebound. Na-reward siya, may foul pa.
Mid Salim. Nasa loob na rin for Zamboanga. Extreme ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Ken, 4 of the 5 players inside for Zamboanga, former players of Coach Gold, former players namin, except for Kalisay.
Oh, yeah.
JC Luciano, John Galinato, John Felicilda, and Med Salim, who all played for Chiang Kai-shek, except for Janjan.
Oo nga. So, Chiangkai, si JC, si
Yeah.
John, at si Med.
Correct.
So, some familiarity here. Swing pass, Janjan Felicilda against Nash Enriquez. What a pass inside, Luciano finishing in the paint.
Welcome to the MPBL. Janjan Felicilda with a nice feed. Tito Wong is certainly happy. Yung po yung garden niya. Kamusta, Tito Wong?
The former UP Fighting Maroon din, Cyril Gonzalez. Ortiza coming from the weak side with an offensive board and putback.
Beautiful offensive rebound of the weak side. 90% of the shots. Don't quote me. Quote Dennis Rodman, the leading rebounder in NBA history. Kapag tumira, kadalasan sa weak side pupunta yan.
Luciano binigay kay Janjan Felicilda. 5 on the shot clock. Felicilda floating it up. And Jacob Galicia getting the defensive board. Under 2 minutes left. Enriquez, ball stolen away by Luciano. Janjan. The swing pass to the corner. Med Salim, straight but short. Will go back to the Voyagers. We have a timeout with 1 minute and 32 seconds left in quarter number 1. Zamboanga still holding on to this 6-point lead. Med Salim coming to the game against a D-League team averaging close to 4 points. So, having 12 points, hitting a couple of threes. And also coming in for Zamboanga is the pride of Cainta from San Andres, dyan lang sa Parola. So, si Jordan Santa Ana.
Former Tomasian.
Oo nga, tama. And also, he played for Cainta Catholic College back in high school. So, si Jordan. Kaya niyang lakarin tong 1 arena eh. kung sa tinitigan niya ay kay Gonzales. Harap si John Galinato. Floater under the wrist. Tough shot.
That's a shot. Now, sometimes yung running shot niya, sa totoo lang, mas sure ball pa sa kanyang jumper. Now, Cyril Gonzalez just loves difficult shots.
King Ortiza played in the North Division Finals with the Pangasinan Waves, now with Pasay. He cuts, gets it from Nico Quinal. Turnaround jumper, can't get that one to fall. Tatakbo na naman dito ang Zamboanga. Luciano. And off to John Galinato. Pulling up from 3, way off the mark. Galicia grabs it for Pasay.
I think Gonzalez had a hand on that Galinato shot. Kaya short yun, no?
Gonzales sumugod. Fade away. Off to the right. Santa Ana. Attacks. Can't finish. Inside Galinato there to clean it up.
A good stop by Pasay on the initial drive by Jordan Santa Ana. But a poor job of boxing out John Galinato. That was a 2 versus 3 fast break.
Luciano giving up the foul. Both teams not yet in penalty.
Ayun, no?
Tatlo sila doon.
Tatlong white shirt, 4 pa. Sama mo pa si Hilario. Kakapasok lamang sa screen.
2.9 seconds left. Nal will trigger it in. Urtiza off the bounce. Drifting to the right. Puts it up and in just before the buzzer.
What a beautiful shot that was. And poor job, obviously, defensively. That's not how you want to end the first quarter. Look at this shot, fading to his right. Nothing but bottom.
Getting it over Jordan Santa Ana. King Ortiza giving Pasay a shot in the arm, but they're still down by 4 against Zamboanga, 19-15.
Back at the One Arena in Cainta for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis. Although Zamboanga will not make it to the next level of this preseason competition, they have been happy with the performances of their old lineup, but obviously very excited about their new addition in Jan Felicilda. Definitely a good addition in the backcourt. He is happy to be with his high school and college coach in John Sia. Coach John also looking forward to having him on board. He is also looking forward to the performances of Calisay, Galinato, Turco, and Fornillos for the upcoming regular season. Pero eto na, I have been waiting for this moment to declare a long-time friendship of 2 high school dreamers turned professionals, Coach John Sia and Coach Christian Luanzon. Si Coach John daw, lahat ng posisyon sa basketball nasubukan na, including a cheerer for what he calls not a star player but a special player in Christian Luanzon. The strict one also in the friendship. Napabuti naman daw ang buhay ni Coach John sa pagkakaibigan na to, lalo na sa kanilang faith. At ito na, napatunayan ko na first hand, hindi talaga umiinom si Christian Luanzon. Shout out kay Madam Marie. Ken, Coach Chris.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Sino yung number 9 doon? Ha?
Naiiyak na ako sa inyo, ha? Saan nyo nakuha yun? Yeah, but, you know, the picture, thank you so much, Mika, for that report. I mean, obviously, Coach John and I, we go way back, but we wouldn't be here, you know, if not for the leadership of Coach Gold, obviously now the head coach of the UP Fighting Marines. He's the one who really groomed us as basketball players, now as coaches. Coach John, I'm not sure if I said this, Coach John in our batch was the first assistant coach. Nauna pa sa akin yan.
Tama,
Right? Yeah, nauna pa sa akin yan because, you know, I was, you know, at that time trying to reach my dream, you know, playing college and eventually to the PBA. Coach John, I believe he started with St. Stephen for the assistant as an assistant, no? I think the following year, maybe 2001, 2002. So he's been a long-time assistant, one of the first assistants for decades now. He was also part of the UP Fighting Maroons, coaching staff season 85. The other guy you saw in the picture was Mr. Lim Engpeng, the athletic director of St. Stephen. Obviously, he's a good friend. Coach Eric Gonzalez was in that picture as well. And lahat ng mga kasama namin. No? Kaya ngayon, sa 40 Above League, tuwing nagkikita kami, it's like we just saw each other yesterday, because we practice once a week and then we play in the games. And those were really good times.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned, apart from St. Stephen, sa St. Jude, Chiang Kai-shek,
Right.
Adamson,
Right.
and NU, he was the first assistant coach of Coach Gold.
Right. Actually, sa ano pa lang eh. Even with St. Jude, that was 2009. This was during the, Kimlo, Jason Ligat, St. Jude era, Jeron Teng, Jeric Teng era, who's now a counselor. Cyril Gonzalez will end up with a turnover. Martin Go, as you see, Coach Marlon Martin, head coach of Pasay. Martin Go, the team manager of Zamboanga, is our former player. Yung naka-brown ngayon, direct, kung kaya niyong kunan. Yan. So this is, everything is just coming into, full circle, if you will. And the Lord has been gracious and good to all of us. We're obviously Nancy Martin. He's a shooter. He just played last night.
Sa Pilchay.
Yeah, and you know what? The irony as we talk about this. Hulaan mo kanina sila natalo. Sa St. Stephen. Yes. Yeah. So, but yeah, Martin Go is a streaky shooter, also a good defender sometimes. But all of us here, we're just under the coaching tree and the development led by Coach Goldie Monteverde.
Well, one of the guys who will be playing later on, who also developed under Coach Gold from Gensan, si Anton Eusebio. I have a story about him later on, about his stint with UP, but look at Zamboanga playing really well. Inan Cornelius hitting that three. 24-15, 9-point lead.
Well, Mika mentioned earlier that despite of falling short of their playoff stint here in the preseason, that they're happy with their performance. And one of the things they should be happy about is this guy getting the rebounds. Ito si Fornelius, a much improved basketball player, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Just a high motor guy, obviously an athletic wing. Undersized for a big at times, but he plays so much bigger than his size suggests.
When he was with Marikina, Coach Chris, he was so amazing. I remember he had that game where he had 5 dunks in one game, but he really relied mostly on his athleticism.
Yeah.
But to your point, had added the shooting touch na nung kinausap ko siya, trinabaho daw niya talaga, and really showing other facets of his game. And now he's ready to bring that here with this Zamboanga team that is being retooled here. And 26-15, 11-point lead. Pumasok na rin si TJ Abdullah for Pasay. But just going back, for Nilios, 5 points, kakapasok lang.
And what you mentioned, obviously, yung Marikina stint niya, di ba?
Yeah.
Ito pre-season, correct me if I'm wrong, parang wala pa nga siyang dunk.
Wala pa.
No, that's my point,
Tama.
right? I mean, you would usually impact the game with those highlight plays like a dunk. Now, he's a totally different... He could still dunk, obviously. I mean, mas feeling ko, kaya pa nga niya mag-reverse triple slam eh. Whatever that means. So, but the thing is, yung ano rin niya, understanding of the game din niya para sa akin, nag-improve din. Saka matalik na kaibigan ni Maymay ito, Kagulangan. Former team.
Kasi nag-rugby sila sa Lasal, Green Hills.
Green Hills.
27-15. Reg Gabat now in. Putting on the deck for Nilios. Paul Turco, a second left on the shot block. Lucas there to grab the rebound. Ninal Fornillos giving them another possession. Santa Ana. Hold up there. Reg Gabat creating space, fading away, way off the mark, and finally cleared by Eric Pili for Pasay.
Now, here's a guy, Reg Gabat, that I think should take another step now in terms of his role this year. Last year, sort of like his breakout season, nagpakilala, sa MPBL. With his athleticism, with his scoring, medyo inconsistent lang. Extremes, he would have games where he score 15, 18 points, and he would have games where he score 4, 5. But I think the key for him is to obviously be consistent. I think he can be a handful for a lot of teams here in the league.
Eric Pili navigates through traffic, laying it up and in. Getting fouled as well.
Nice help by Turco. Ang problema rito, ayan, masyado na siya malalim. If you want to help, gotta help on the block. Kung saan it will force a guy like Eric Pili maybe to kick the ball out or to shoot over you. Minsan, pag masyado na malalim tulad nun, it allows, the guards like Eric Pili to be more creative. Eric Pili completes it with a three-point play.
Played for Rizal last season, Eric Pili. Now finding a new home with the Pasay Voyagers. 9-point lead for Zamboanga. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Reg Gabat, baseline drive, kicks it out to an open Kalisay from downtown. Can't hit it. Tabigan ng bola, ending up with Moon de la Cruz. Pili, drop pass. Martel had to adjust. Quickly on the other end, Zamboanga. To slow things down here, Paeng Are working on TJ Abdullah, pulling up just inside the arc. De La Cruz nares down another board. Dangerous pass, almost a turnover. Martel gives it back out to TJ Abdullah. De La Cruz sa loob, pinasa pabalik, palabas.
That's a shot.
Kinal can hit it though. Loves those threes. Paul Turco. Work on the left side again. Bounce pass. Eventually ending up with Kalisa, who misfires from the corner. Eric Pili. Past that halfway point of the second quarter.
A little bit of a struggle, no? Facing the zone of Pasay is Zamboanga. 3 out of 9 from the three-point line already, Zamboanga, in spite of this 9-point lead.
Another one of the newest acquisitions for Zamboanga. Josh Lazaro coming in for Zamboanga. Now challenging that shot by Abdullah, who can't hit the three. Paeng Are. Kalisay on the left side again. Libre sa tres. Inigo. Can't hit it. Kinal the rebound.
Where they're getting good looks, moving the basketball, finding the gaps of the zone. Hindi lang pumapasok yung mga tira nila.
Abdullah, skip pass, Kinal. Pili wants a screen from Martel. Binigay palabas, TJ Abdullah. Di pa rin makabutas galing sa tres. Bola nakuha ni Achi Inigo. Dangerous pass, Paeng Are facing a double team. Gets it back from Achi Inigo. The drop, Paul Turco in stride, no. Put back, wala pa din. Pasay. They have the numbers. De La Cruz bumping into the lane. Can't finish.
They have numbers.
Josh Lazaro pulling up.
Tira niya.
Hachi Inigo grabs it with 2 hands. Kalisay. And both teams can't buy a bucket. They've been getting good looks. Zamboanga protecting this 9-point lead. Pili. As Inigo falls down on the floor. Tight pass. De La Cruz gets the one-hander to go.
So finally, the one team, which is Pasay, able to get that ball through the net after a long struggle.
Approaching the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Baseline drive. Paeng Are going right at Moon de la Cruz.
Nakita mo ba yun? point guard, inusog yung poste.
Sinuwag eh.
This is the interior passing by Pasay that breaks the ice in terms of scoring after a 2 to 3 minute drought. Paeng Are, we talk about earning your way to the stripe. He certainly earned this one.
MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community. They were perfect at the line in that fourth quarter against Caloocan. He and Michael Are.
Now you just saw Chino Mosqueda,
Yeah.
ang kapatid ni
Sydney.
Sydney. Yes.
Dalawa, ano yan eh? Ay, hindi pala. Ito, Paeng Are, pasok din, pangalawang free.
Kasi may fake news ako nakuha nung last game.
Ano?
Na hindi daw sila magkapatid. Hindi ko alam kanino ko nakuha. Ito na Mosqueda family, pasensya na po. Na fake news ako. Sana hindi nyo narinig. Pero kung narinig nyo, kaya na ako humingi ng pasensya. Sabi ni Chino sa akin.
Okay.
Kasi kinonfirm ko sa kanya, tinanong ko, pabiro. Kasi nga, iniisip ko una, hindi. Sabi ni Chino, Coach, kapatid ko yun. Ikaw naman eh. Porket ba maputi lang siya? Sabi ko, hindi naman.
2:27 left here in the second quarter.
Bumawi naman ako sa kanya. Sabi ko, malamang ikaw ang mas batang kapatid. Ayun na, absuelto.
Okay, time out muna tayo. Magbabalik kami. Nice crowd we have here at the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal. Second game of our Saturday triple header. Last game na po ng ating group phase before we proceed to the...
Uy! Akala ko may ganung moment ulit.
Coldplay na naman.
Coldplay moment.
Batiin ko lang Mayor Kit Nieto, Vice Mayor Ace Servillon, of course Commissioner Ember Oreta, Dandy Hoods, Rudy Distrito, Head of Security, Head of Operations, Zaldi Rilwin, Boss Richmond Berlin, Boss Lindon Batanes of PSO Office, Sir Eric Arevalo of Cainta, MD, RRMO, and Sir June Daga, OIC 1 Cainta Town Security. Joshua Dino making an appearance here for Pasay. Eric Pili, Dino the cut. Nice pass, but Abdullah can't finish. Zamboanga nananatiling lamang dito. Josh Lazaro. And a couple of good looks.
Well, right now, Zamboanga really executing to get not only looks, but quality looks. Yun lang, hindi lang pumapasok. Yung dalawang huling tinira ni Lazaro, no? Especially that short corner. I tell you, that automatic siya dyan. Watching, being a witness, obviously playing against him, coaching rather, with him in a Blue Eagle jersey. That's his calling card.
Abdullah using his offhand to float it up and in. Former Mabua Cardinal TJ Abdullah. Not caught. Caught itong si Paeng Are out of position with that crossover dribble and floating it up over Paul Turco to cut the lead down to 7, 29-22 timeout Zamboanga. Back with us here at the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal. It's Pasay versus Zamboanga for our second game.
Punta na kayo dito.
Oo.
Kita nyo naman, magbarkada, single, married, separated, may anak, 2 anak, 3 anak, magbarkada. Lahat nandito, punta na kayo rito.
Pati mga estudyante nandito rin. Bit-bit ang kanilang mga ID. Baka iba ni nagpaalam ha. Paalam muna kayo bago kayo pumunta dito.
Wala na klase, Sabado na eh. Sa anong oras na? Sa bagay, nung panahon namin, maabot kami yung alas 9 eh. Meron pa rin no? Yung mga ganang klase.
Oo, meron.
Sa bagay, master's degree yun.
Ako, inabot ko yun. Mabot mga klase yung alas 9 eh. Abdullah can't hit a free. Lazaro brings the ball down for Zamboanga. Kali side drives, had to adjust. Tapikan ng bola, behind the back pass, Inigo to Paing Are. Working on Joshua Dino. Oh. Turns it over.
Well, I thought that was a perfect time. If he read it, Josh Lazaro could have given a flare screen for Inigo. Kasi masyado na nakulubog yung tao niya or pwedeng tumanggap na lang siya sa may elbow, no? But instead, a miscommunication resulting into a turnover.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Abdullah and Joshua Dino getting some minutes here at the tail end of the second quarter. Rich Gabat caught with a foul. They are in penalties, so 2 shots coming up for TJ Abdullah.
Both teams, sorry about that, Ken.
Yeah.
Both teams struggling offensively and, largely because they're missing shots. But really, this has been a defensive type of game. First half pa lamang tayo, both teams combining for only 54 points and, 41 seconds and change remaining.
Abdullah hitting both. And yeah, just both teams. Patapos na tayo sa second quarter. Zamboanga putting up 31 to Pasay's 24. No-look pass, Inigo. Extra feed for a better look for Reg Gabat.
The excellent ball movement, creating the advantage of the ball screen from the weak side. Little drive, baseline drive, little drift and kick out. Extra pass. Just the kind of shots you need for the last possession of the quarter for Zamboanga.
Last possession naman para sa Pasay. Abdullah sneaking in. Pwede pa ito for the Sikat, but the Voyagers coming away with a steal. Martel almost got it in, but the first half draws into a close. Despite that brief lull earlier, Zamboanga managing to hold a 10-point lead over Pasay at the half, 34-24. Back with us here at the One Arena, where we see Zamboanga have this 10-point lead over Pasay, 34-24. And Pasay, di pa lumalamang dito, Zamboanga leading for the majority of this ball game, Coach Chris, wherein they had their biggest lead at 12 points. There was that lull nung halfway point ng ating second quarter, but Zamboanga pulling out all the stops, having this lead despite the poor shooting from both teams.
Right, and that's because I thought defensively, it's been really tough. Rarely did you see, Pasay have open shots. And at the same time, they're controlling the board. Nakita mo naman, 30-20. Also a big part ng separation nila, no? Is also because the second chance points rather, because Zamboanga, or Pasay has allowed Zamboanga to have 11 offensive rebounds. And sometimes that could take away sometimes. Actually, that can really be deflating, because you allow extra possessions and then you allow another chance for them to score. Yan ang mangyayari talaga. And Pasay is just facing a double-digit lead, as you see. The leading scorers for both teams.
Yeah. Tig-5 puntos, Inan Cornelius and JC Luciano. But points really spread out on the side of Zamboanga, moving the basketball really well. While for Pasay, Munmo de la Cruz and TJ Abdullah with 4 each. So missing there, obviously, Nash Enriquez, who has yet to really find his footing here. King Ortiza had that magnificent jumper at the end of the first quarter, but Pasay, much like in that game against San Juan, where they only had 20 points in the first half, dito 24 points. But the good news is, compared to that game against San Juan, they're just down by 10. Let's see if they could rectify things here in the second half. Ortiza getting a start here in the third alongside Jello Santiago, Munmun de la Cruz, Lian Martel, and Steve Nash Enriquez. Ortiza off the bounce, going right at Dave Bernabe for that finish.
Excellent patience by Pasay that time, as you see this attack, but better defense by Pasay. Because that happened a couple times in the first half, kung saan itong Zamboanga was not able to convert it. But you see, ito, hindi na sila nakatira. Ito yung magandang atake. Might have been foul too. Itong si Ortiza. After that offense wherein they were so patient.
Leading all scorers with 6 points. This would illustrate how teams have struggled from the field. De La Cruz can't finish. Velicilda starting the third alongside Paul Turco, Reg Gabat, Dave Bernabe, and Arthur Calisay. Skip pass intercepted. Santiago. Nash Enriquez chased down but also got clipped by Reg Gabat.
Medyo para sa akin bumagal masyado si Steve Nash because of that delay. It allowed a guy like Reg Gabat for the potential chase down. Ayan that extra dribble, he could have just gone for the 1-2 step. But instead, now there's a little bit of pressure, because if it's a split, that's a successful play. Now he misses the free throw, so instead of getting 2 points, you might get 1.
Arnon Martin. Nash.
Turns out as a turnover, basically.
Velicilda gives it to up top. Minute gone by in the third. Calisay has yet to hit a 3 until now.
Well, that's an excellent read. Just a simple handoff, down screen action, 3-man action of the wing. Umilalim yung tao niya. Just a little fade to the low wing. Ito, agaw pa. Makukumpleto, hindi. Ang ganda ng effort. Itong Zamboanga, ganda ng reads sa opensa. Ito, umilalim tao ni Calisay. You see that short fade to the low wing. Just enough space for a shooter like Calisay. De La Cruz.
Pasay just 1 out of 12 from beyond the arc. Zamboanga 4 of 15 for a 26.7% clip. Tresny Enriquez, he finally puts it in from downtown.
It's just unfortunate. I thought that was good defense for the first 22 seconds as the shot clock was winding down. Forced a tough jumper on Gortiza, but the ball just bounced right into the hands of Steve Nash.
Gabat to Turco. Zamboanga has never trailed in this game. Turco challenging the defense of Martel, standing his ground, and they come away with a stop. Enriquez pushing it. Serving the floor. What a pass inside. Martel though, blowing the layup. But he has a chance to redeem himself at the line.
And once again, a good foul by Zamboanga, but look at this pass by Nash. Whoop!
Sayang. Pati siya nagulat eh. Let's check in with Mika.
As we know, Coach M, he does not stop developing players to the best of their abilities. That Coach M effect has been so famous among young players that he got guys like Enriquez de la Cruz, Parks, and Santiago. No? But for him, bukod sa kanila, he has been impressed by the performances of Cyril Gonzalez, Martel, Gortiza, and Kinyal. For the Pasay fans, he is still looking at adding one big man and a point guard. Watch out for the young Voyagers in Season 8 who are all under the Coach M effect. Can Coach Chris?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mika. And Coach M almost piloting. We covered that game number 1, us 3 together in Palayan City, where they trail by as many as around 21 points. Hinabol nila yon. San Juan was shooting the lights out and then forcing into double overtime. But the new guys that Mika mentioned, how do you think that's gonna factor in? And also, yung mga yung teaser niya, no? Yung those couple of guys na tinitignan ni Coach M would affect and inject some life dito sa paparating na 8th season para dito sa Pasay.
Well, you add more youth. It also means you add more athleticism. They're a more athletic team compared to last season, in my opinion. And with a mix of veterans. You know, they're missing, obviously, today, Christian Pajarito, right? And who's a capable scorer down low, as I believe we have a coach's challenge.
After the review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge, so foul on De La Cruz will stand.
Beautiful diagonal overhead pass by Calisa. And I say beautiful aside from the execution. No? Bago pa niya natanggap na bola, nakita niya na sa kabila tumatakbo itong si Gabat. Kaya pag salo niya rito, halos sa tapat natin, ang ganda ng pasa niya, ang ganda ng pagkakataon nito kay Rich Gabat. Although, mintis yung una.
Coach John Sia. MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community.
Kulang yung sinabi mo.
Ano?
Coach John Sia, twin brother of James.
Tama. Sino mas gwapo?
Eh, siyempre, si James.
Hindi ka nagdalawang isip, ha? And Pasay throws it away again.
Kasalanan na magdalawang isip.
Already their 9th turnover. 38-29, Felicilda getting some heavy burn to start the 3rd. He and Nash Enriquez played 1 year together with NU. Enriquez, nahanap si Santiago, bagyang na libre. Pinalik muna kay Enriquez. Malayong tres ito from Steve Nash and he hits it.
Well, that's the beauty of having a Steve Nash. He's a streaky guard as a shooter. At dahil sa nangyari kanina, couple plays ago, kung saan nag-bounce sa kanya yung bola at nakashoot siya, yung pangatlo niya, suddenly lumalaki na yung butas ng ring.
Kalisay gustong bawiin. He does. Second triple as well from Arthur Kalisay.
Sa kabila naman for Zamboanga, it's been consistent from the tip. You know, execution at its finest, creating an advantage, finding the open man. Kalisay, the recipient of it na sa quarter na to. Yung una sa kaliwa, yung pangalawa sa kanan.
Tulong pass again. Gortiza from Enriquez. Pasay though, despite trailing, finding a bit of a rhythm here.
Kita mo, two guys on Felicilda on that hedge. And because of the roller, no, sa kailangan mong kunin, na libre si Kalisay. Pero ito, kahit malayo, konting puwang lang, ititira ni Nash.
Gortiza, former EAC General. Hailing from La Union. Mintis nga lang, kanyang unang free throw. Reach the North Division Finals with Coach Gerson. Pangasinan. Sablay, wow. Pasay missing a lot of free throws here in the third quarter.
6 straight na yan.
Lucina though can't finish. Ball will go back to the Voyagers.
Pasay hitting their first 5 free throws of the game, missing their last 6. Now, 5 for 11.
Yeah. Paing Are giving Reg Gabat a breather. So Felicilda and Are together in the backcourt for the first time in this game for Zamboanga. Munmun at the elbow. Hilario and Kalisay colliding there. Kalisay hitting the deck. And, there will be a foul.
Well, they had a hard time saying goodbye to each other. You know, alam mo, minsan yung sa airport, nagpapaalam ka na, alis na yung mahal mo. Yakap-yakap mo, nahihirapan ka mag-goodbye, ayaw mo bitawan. Yun ang nangyari kay Hilario at kay Kalisay.
Gonzales nasa loob na rin for Pasay. Catch and shoot. Free from the left corner. Second triple from Jello Santiago. Things heating up here in the third. Mid Salim thought about it. Gives it up to Paeng Are. Matched up against Gonzales. Luciano. Kick out pass Kalisay. Travel.
That's a tricky call to me, because this is the catch and shoot, no? The advantage of being athletic. You're shooting that jump shot in the corner. Tinawagan niya ng traveling, no? Nakababa yung pivot foot yung kaliwa. Umangat yung kanan, pero tinawagan ng traveling. It's a tricky call, really.
Enriquez wants to post up Felicilda. Instead, they go to Brian Hilario. Good shot rolling out. He got it back. Libre Enriquez para sa dress. Left it short. Ball will stay with the Voyagers. Shooting has picked up a bit here in the third. Kasi kanina below 30%. Yung unan. Encho Serrano gearing up for that showdown against the Jensen Warriors later on. Hilario nasa yung bola at the elbow again. Posting up mid Salim. Oh, what a finish from Ryan Hilario.
Looks like he wanted to take a nap with that finish. Pahiga yung kanyang layup.
Salim gustong bawiin. May foul laban sa Pasay.
Not a good shot by Mid Salim. Those are the type of shots wherein you're able to hit the shot. Look at this move by Hilario. The patience, and then little backhand layup finishing on the other side. The English on the basketball.
Si Hilario humilata doon bago finish. Santa Ana babalik sa loob. Paeng-ari. Malakas yung kanyang tres. Santiago emphatically grabbing the rebound.
This would be a basket timeout situation for Coach John.
Santiago earning himself 2 free throws.
This quarter has been owned so far. Pasay has outscored Zamboanga 13-7. From a high of 10, which the lead after when we started the third quarter, 4 na lamang, pwede pa maging 2.
Pasay shooting 5 out of 10 from the field here in the third, while Zamboanga just 2 out of 7. Extreme ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Pasok unang free throw ni Jello Santiago. Won a championship, like we said, with CEU before moving to NU. Just fell short despite having a twice-to-beat advantage against LaSalle in the semifinals, in the Final Four rather, in the recent UAP season. Niluwa yung kanyang pangalawang free throw, but down to a 1-possession ball game. It's Salim. On the move, Santa Ana. The momentary hesitation, but can't finish. He was right there at the cup.
Baka nagdalawang isip siya no, kung ibabanda niya o parang ipo-floater niya after that spin, no? But that's something that you rarely see from Santa Ana because that's his game, getting his feet inside the paint and finishing at the basket. Good thing, because of the deflection, they will retain possession.
It's like inbound. Jordan.
Somebody's open.
It's Achi, who willingly takes that three and fires an arrow toward our direction.
Sinalo ko yung arrow eh. kung Hawkeye siya, Wolverine ako.
But more importantly, Zamboanga keeping Pasay at bay. Fornillos, the
Very
drop
nice.
pass. Santa Ana again fails to finish.
It's probably... Ano ba tawag dyan?
Gonzales. Floater ulit. Tatalbog 2 beses pero ayaw pumasok. Santa Ana, can he make up for it? The spin! And finally finishing it with a right-handed layup.
It's a good thing he made that. I was about to say, I was lost for words for a moment.
Ano, may takip yung ring?
Oh, hindi. Yung tarpaulin niya, mas malaki sa kanya eh. Baka na-distract siya na parang papalpalin siya. Di ba? Sa sarili niya. Ito, tapi ka ng bola. Quick outlet, beautiful outlet by Fornillos. And a beautiful spin cycle move by Jordan. Jordan na lang.
Extending the lead back to 8. The pride of Cainta.
Yan yun, dalawa yan. Magkabilang dulo pa.
No. Santa Ana isolated up top against Siren Gonzales. Gonzales getting the strip. Enriquez drops it up to nobody. Intended to Mark Parks. Turnover.
Just too many wasted opportunities for Pasay. Aside from the turnovers, you know, the shots they should have made, and also the free throws, the first 6 misses to start this quarter.
May balita tayo kay Mika.
Jordan Santa Ana studied in that building in front of this one his whole life, the Cainta Catholic College, till he worked with Coach Jeff Napa and the UAP Juniors. Laking bibingka at suman as his recovery meals. He takes pride in coming home to this place that has seen him grow into this fine young professional, hence the posters. And posters.
And kudos to the people behind those posters. Well beloved dito si Jordan Santa Ana. Paeng-ari, the putback here, back to a 10-point lead for Zamboanga.
What a move.
Equally potent move from Cyril Gonzales.
Ano ba tawag ko ron? Bossero move. Sumilip. Ay, titira. Ay, hindi. Sabay titira pala. Ang ganda ng up fake ni Cyril eh.
Like you said, has the knack for making those tough shots.
Ito ba itong galaw na to? Ayan, sumilip. Whoop!
Wala rin sa balancing. Pantay niya dun. Gonzalez. TJ Abdullah getting back into the game. Pagpapahingin lang si Nash Enriquez. Ari at the line. Sablay yung kanyang unang free throw. Only played in the playoffs last season with Zamboanga. Struggled in the first game. Sinubukan nila yung Batangas in that three-game series in the first round. Just fell short.
I remember.
Diba? And speaking of Batangas, shout out to one of the assistant coaches of Batangas and also an assistant to Coach Cholo.
Sino yun?
Si Coach Warren, kapitan. Hello, Coach. Ano daw siya ngayon? Paing Are, sinugod yung depensa ni TJ Abdullah. Free throws na naman para kay Paeng.
Alam mo, ang bilis ng galaw na yun ni Paing Are, but an impressive close out and slide to contain si Abdullah. I don't know. I thought that call could have gone either way. Pwedeng offensive foul din yun. But nonetheless, a terrific effort because yung mga ganon, close out and contain. I tell you, only a small percentage, even in the MPBL, can do that.
Paeng Are hitting the first free throw. TJ Abdullah played for Mapua under Coach Randy Alcantara. Are 5 out of 6 from the line. Total of 11 points. Under 2 minutes left in the third. Kinal working on Achi Inigo. Skipping it to Abdullah. 7 on their shot clock. Behind the back dribble by Cyril Gonzalez. Being bothered by Paeng Are. Kinal had to heave. Abdullah there for the weak side rebound. And able to draw a foul on Jordan Santa Ana.
Just making the most of the opportunity given to him is si Abdullah. Defensively, nabanggit natin siya of the closeout, although it was a foul. This time, arguably the smallest guy on the floor, and he's the one who got the offensive rebound. Let's see if he can make up now of all the missed free throws. That's not my fault. Kasalanan po nung nagpakita ng stats sa baba, 2 out of 2. Okay, I didn't say a word. Production po yan. Ngayon, hindi nila pa nakita na shoot ni Abdullah.
3 out of 4 siya ngayon at the line. Josh Lazaro nagbabalik para sa Zamboanga. So you haven't seen Josh Lazaro and Felicilda together on the floor just yet. Galinato short on the jumper. Gonzalez. Good catch and shoot. Kinal. Wala. 68 seconds left. Galinato to Inigo. Are. Lazaro offering that pick, slipping it. Lazaro is open. Instead, they go to Galinato. Swing pass to Inigo with 4 on their shot clock. Inand, way off target. Mark Parks with a running start. Recovers his dribble. Going to Kinal. Martel. Pitch back to Cyril Gonzalez. 10 seconds left on their shot clock. Sliding in. Fadeaway jumper by Martel. Can't get that one to fall.
You should go for the last shot.
Yeah, 2-second differential between shot and game clock. Achi wants a pick from Lazaro. Switch. Paeng Are, high arcing free. Way off. Still enough time for the Voyagers. 4 seconds left. Abdullah. Kinal drifting to the right. Almost got it in. And that concludes that third period. And Zamboanga with that recovery here at the tail end of this third period. Dumikit na ang Pasay. It was 41-38 behind these plays from Nash Enriquez, who had a couple of frees here in the third quarter. But also finding his mark Arthur Calisay, dalawang tres din dito sa quarter na ito. And Zamboanga, despite the fight back of Pasay, Jordan Santa Ana finally getting into the scoring column. Kaya lamang sila pa rin ang 10 heading into the fourth. Back with us here inside the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal. At maya-maya lamang po ay matutuhayan nyo ang laban ng Abra at Gensan. Pero itong second game natin, Pasay versus Zamboanga, it's been quite a intriguing battle here. Game of runs here in the third quarter. Always nice to be back here in Cainta, Rizal.
Well, what I like about this game is that both coaches, both teams, all of the players, they're playing it the right way.
Yeah.
They're competing. You know, like you mentioned at the top of the coverage, as you see the partner scoring, no, Pasay, second quarter. Kumbaga, yan ang dumali sa kanila eh. They're failing to go double figures and trailing at the half by 10. They start the fourth trailing still by 10, even though no, they were able to inch that to about 4 points, I believe, 3. But you talk about both teams, the game plan, executing defensively, executing offensively, playing hard. This is how the game should be played, Ken.
Hard parts. Quite a struggle though for Pasay at the line in the third quarter. Like to your point, 5 out of 5.
Even if it doesn't mean anything already in terms of seeding, that's the way it should be played.
Touché. Inan Pavilios, Paeng-Aring, Hachi Inigo, Josh Lazaro at si John Calinato magkakasama sa loob for Zamboanga. Turco giving Ian Pavilios a breather.
Well, Paeng-Aring has got to settle down because I thought the last possession, wherein it was a 3-man action, ball screen up top, he lifted from corner to wing. They forced the switch, so that means the big man has a small man on the post. Instead of giving it to the post with 7 seconds remaining, tinira niya, no? Muntik pa nakashoot sa kabila, ang Pasay, yung kay Kinyal. And then first possession, forces the issue, ends up with a turnover. And that's something that you don't want from your leader. Because, nabanggit mo kanina, with the playoff experience, being, you know, one of the core guys here, he has to be better than that.
Kiko Kinal. Again, nailing that jumper from the baseline. Mabasa pitong lamang, 51-44. Lazaro struggling to keep his dribble. Turco. 9 on their shot clock. Achi skips it, but pass drifting to the left. Not able to land into the hands of John Calinato.
Good idea. Just really poor execution. If you watch the Lakers play, Ken, which I'm sure you do, that's something Luka Doncic execute. And he uses the jump pass. First of all, he's 6'8".
Yeah.
And because he expects yung mga ganun, yung mga hard show, maybe a double team, he would jump up in the air, use his length, and then all his size to make a two-handed skip pass to the corner.
Swabe naman yung jumper na yun ni Brian Hilario.
Swabe talaga yun.
Mabasa 5 ang kalamangan. Pull-up jumper from John Galinato, pretty much automatic.
Here's a guy that personally and even itong Zamboanga management is waiting to explode because they know the talent of John Galinato. Parks, unang three-pointer yan.
Yeah. Hasn't really looked for his shot in this game, Mark Parks. But that three-pointer cuts it down to 4. Galinato. Pelesilda. Sa loob. Daming dinaanan. Earning himself 2 shots at the line.
Yan talagang laro ni Jan Jan eh. That's why your scouting report, kadalasan kay Jan Jan, is to force him to shoot from the outside because once you, especially in closeouts, he will certainly beat you off the dribble.
Mensalim. Back in. Janjan Pelesilda. Hailing from Bayugan, Agusan del Sur. ManiPay is the digital wallet built for the community. Buntis nga lang, kanyang unang free throw. Zamboanga 11 of 16 from the line as a team. Janjan gets the second. 54-49. Enriquez nagbabalik din sa loob for Pasay.
Gusto nilang atakihin sa straight post si Turco. To set up yung flare screen.
Enriquez with a gorgeous finish. The flare on that layup. And more importantly, cutting this lead back down to 3, 54-51. Galinato puts it on the deck. Over Kinal, no. Tip in, wala pa din. Enriquez with a running start. Nash. The setup. Santiago overcooking the 3. Mark Parks blocked, but there to clean it up and stick it back in is Brian Hilario.
Excellent push of the basketball. Badly missed by Santiago, but a lot of white shirts right there until Hilario cleans it up.
Wala na wala. Pagkakataon lumabang para sa Pasay sa unang pagkakataon. Hinal for the lead. No! Salim can't handle the rebound. Ball will stay with Pasay.
You could just see the energy shifting to Pasay. Not only defensively, but even offensively. Ball is moving, ball is popping, getting good looks at the basket, even getting second chance points.
Here in the second half, shooting 44%, 11 out of 25. Itong Pasay Voyagers compared to that 27% shooting clip in the first half. However, Zamboanga getting a stop. Reg Gabat floats it up. Enriquez, the rebound. Nash between the legs. Setting up Mark Parks. Free for a free off the heel. Reg Gabat secures it for Zamboanga. Pelesilda on the right side. Nice screen by Salim. Off the lift. Kalisay. Straight but long. Enriquez trying to spin off his defender. Recovers his dribble and scores to give Pasay its first taste of the lead in this ball game.
Well, Zamboanga has been the team executing the first 3 quarters, but Pasay, especially because of this guy who can be really creative, crafty, and score the basketball, has led this team in the fourth to put that ball in the hoop more.
The wily Enriquez with 12 points. Zamboanga forced to call a timeout. Nagbabalik ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Nash Enriquez, only 2 points in the first half, but total of 10 here in the last 2 quarters. 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. But nice play coming off a timeout. Zamboanga reclaiming the advantage.
It was actually a read because nakahanda rin, no? Galing sa timeout din obviously ang Pasay. They opt to double as they cross half court atong Zamboanga and left Gabat wide open after the first pass.
Cornelius, trail job, free, no.
Nice rebound, Mids.
And Salim got fouled. Siguro yung De La Cruz. Tatawagan ng foul. Pang-apat na niya yan.
Parehas bulldog yan.
Pero hindi na nagkabot, no?
Hindi na.
Kalisay, nahanap si Cornelius. Over Mark Marks. 5 straight points by Zamboanga after Pasay had the lead earlier. Chelo Santiago. De La Cruz, ginugulo ni Ben Salim. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Voyagers. Tiza, Enriquez, De La Cruz, Sparks, and Santiago. So a bit of a small lineup here for Pasay. No legitimate center on the floor. Santiago, the fake, the finish inside despite the contact, and a bonus free throw coming up.
And it started when Kalisay went down on the screen. You don't see it now, but because you forced the rotation. You know, he was trying to sell the call. This is a nice three-point play by Santiago after the 5 straight points, as you mentioned. Sometimes players would try to sell the call. There was definitely contact, Ken. What I have a problem with is when there's no call, walang pito, and then you take time during live play to make your case. You make your case during the dead ball because it's costing the team. That time, it cost your team 3 points.
Yeah. Then Santiago with 10.
Yan ang problema ko kay Luka Doncic.
Kaya pala ayaw mo na rin manood pala.
But lately, I've been watching.
Okay. Kalisay, pasa palabas. Ben Salim, right corner triple. Off the back iron. May foul laban sa Zamboanga.
Mid Salim has yet to find the mark. Yes, may tira sa labas yan. You know, but he's now 0 for 4 from downtown. But let's see if he continues to take shots. You know, because sometimes there's also a reason why you're open.
Just coming off that solid game though. Munmo De La Cruz with an aggressive attack to the hoop. And another three-point play for the Voyagers.
What I like about this drive is not only showing the upper body strength in the last part, Ken, but how he fought for that angle on the board. Galing siya sa medyo alanganin na angulo. Siniksik niya yung kanyang kanang balikat to get a better angle and led to the nice finish.
Munmun has hit all 3 of his free throws. Oh! Bad pass. Turnover by Zamboanga. Four and 14 left. Motorco replacing Med Salim. So Pasay sticking with the smaller lineup on the floor. Mark Parks, Enriquez matched up against Jan Felicila. De La Cruz offering that screen. The adjustment on that pick, but Enriquez can't hit the free. Kalisay on the other end. Felicilda. Balik kay Kalisay. Shot off by Chelo Santiago. Skips it to Felicilda again. Those two guys touching the basketball on this possession with 8 on their shot clock. Cornelius puts it on the bounce. Fadeaway jumper off. Enriquez is ahead.
But Cornelius is there. He was the one who took the shot. You just see how hard he sprinted from offense to defense.
Park sa poste. Laban kay Reg Gabat. He elects to drive baseline, then dump off inside in traffic. De La Cruz against two defenders, able to finish.
Well, talk about maximizing that 2.9 seconds that you're allowed inside the 3-second lane. Monmon De La Cruz with a nice finish among the trees.
9-0 run by the Voyagers. Gabat got clipped in the arm as he took that shot. That's on Moon.
2.9.
Kaya lang, yun lang. Foul out na si Moon. But a solid stint. 32 inside points by the Voyagers. Moon De La Cruz finishing this game with 9 points and 5 boards.
Speaking of boards, without even looking on the box scores or the stats, live stats, who do you think is the leading rebounder for Zamboanga now?
Zamboanga?
Yes,
No, si Felicilda ba?
it's actually Inigo.
Si Inigo.
He
Sa
has
point
9.
guard din.
Yeah, he actually leads the game in rebounding. 9 rebounds.
Wow. Although I was seeing him flying in for those offensive rebounds earlier. Yun din eh. Yung veteran presence na meron si Ache Inigo. Doing all those little things. And credit him because there were times that he was in uniform, di rin siya pinapasok. But here, given the opportunity and playing quality minutes for Coach John. Also hitting a couple of threes, Ache Inigo. Reg Gabat also fouling out. He will troop back to the bench. Reg Gabat, 9 points, 3 rebounds in just 13 minutes. In a foul-plagued afternoon. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. King Ortiza back at the stripe. Pasay struggling at the line in this second half. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. They are
Struggling in the line
Six-
for the game.
Oo. Hindi, 5 out of 5 kasi sila nung first half, di ba?
Yeah.
Dito sa second half, 6 out of 15. And yet they are now in the lead. Kalisay though cuts it down to 1. Kalisay with 10.
That is a smooth stroke, Enrique Kalisay. Not just showing us that he's a spot-up shooter, can put the ball in the net with that 1-2 pull-up as well.
Mark Parks left that one short. Another chance for Zamboanga to reclaim the lead here. Paeng Ari thought about the 3. Back to Janjan. Will not force it up. Paeng Ari puts it on the deck. The show by Martel. Ball tapped out of bounds. Ball will stay with Zamboanga.
You see how Pasay shrinks the paint, especially with a guy like Mike Are off the ball screen, attacking the middle. Pinapaliit nila to force him to pass.
Silda behind the back. Paeng Ari drifting to the left. Tough shot. Hitting a 3 on the move. Shot clock winding down off that pass from Janjan Felicilda.
This is what makes him really tough to guard. Not all guards can shoot a jump shot, because a jump shot is different from a set shot, especially when you're on the move like that. Shot clock winding down under duress. But because he's athletic enough to get himself up in the air, put the ball up his head, and shoot it on top of the defender, just makes him a good shot maker.
Yeah, bibihira yung mga players na may kakayahan gumawa niya. 66-64.
That's why I've always believed every time that you're limited in terms of height as a basketball player. You gotta have the jump shot as a part of your weapon. Because you gotta make up for yung inches na nawala sa'yo eh. Because this is still a big man's game.
Last 2 minutes of the ball game, Zamboanga up by 2. Backcourt of Felicilda and Are to close out for Zamboanga. Paeng makes his move this time, pulling up from the right side. Paeng Are with the last 5 points for Zamboanga. (68-64).
Look at Luciano. Now we're gonna credit Are because these are back-to-back baskets and credit is due. But Luciano read the play perfectly, reading the switch. He screened his own man. Kaya nakita natin libre si Paeng Are.
Here at the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal. Second game here turned out to be
A better one. A much better one.
definitely 68-64. Zamboanga, give credit to them because they relinquished the lead rather here in the fourth. Pasay had that 9-0 run.
Led by Steve Nash.
Yep. But making amends here, scattering 9 straight points of their own. Kaya naman sila na ngayon, ang lamang 68-64.
Well, let's see if Pasay, whatever they design, if they could get themselves to the line, since Zamboanga is over the limit already, they decide to post up Janjan Felicilda.
Turnaround shot, Santiago powering up. Met up top by Paul Turgo.
Pero dahil hindi tumama sa ring yun, no, kahit na 2 chances, hindi mag-reset yung shot clock.
Voyager still down by 2 possessions. Santiago will inbound it from the sideline.
Expect Zamboanga to switch all screens at this point.
Hilario, nice fake, getting Luciano up in the air, but his free was short. 7 straight points for Zamboanga, up by 4. 64 seconds left.
A 2 here would extend the lead. A 3 would seal the game.
Are, in and out dribble. Marks in front of it. Kicks it out. Felicilda, a free. Yes! Someone is smiling. And I won't tell who. But boy, that was a back-breaking free. Enriquez can't answer. 38 seconds left. Enriquez, long 3-point shot. And that's probably gonna do it.
What did I say? A 3 would seal this game. But I did not expect, he was the least that I expect to take a shot. Janjan Felicilda, who by the way, led the UAAP season in terms of 3-point percentage. Season, itong huling season namin, 89. 100%, 1 out of 1.
Kaya pala.
So, he's gonna end the MPBL preseason 100% also. 1 out of 1.
And putting in the finishing touches, 7 points in a matter of a couple of minutes for Paeng Are, doing it again, much like he did against Caloocan.
Now, Paeng Are, we mentioned him as a shot maker. Talk about finding a way. Hindi lang po bangkong meron yan. Si Paeng Are, kaya rin gumawa ng paraan.
crowd here at the One Arena in Cainta, Rizal. Zamboanga, what a finishing kick here. Like we said, they were down earlier by 5 points. But scattering, well, finishing off this game with a 12-0 run. 7 points from Paeng Ari in that span, and then that bone-crushing three by Felicilda to extend it.
So now we have his name right since he hit a three, a big three. It's Felicilda, not Felicidad.
6.6 rebounds, 4 assists in his debut. Mark Parks going strong to the basket. But just 3.8 seconds left.
A nice play.
Yeah.
Even if in this game is a done deal already, still executing. Again, it's only preseason. So you're also testing your team. Kung sino yung maka-execute sa mga ganong klaseng sitwasyon.
Nonetheless, a lot of promise from these two squads as they try to make it deep in the postseason, in the upcoming 8th season. But this night belongs to Zamboanga Sikat, getting this big win. And with their new arrivals, Jan Felicilda, Josh Lazaro. But this team remains intact, mainly thanks to this guy, Paeng Ari, who struggled a bit in the first half. Only 6 points, but exploding for a total of 12 in the last 2 quarters, including 7 in this pivotal stretch.
Well, he is certainly Zamboanga's key player in the upcoming season. Not only can beat you with his speed, but also can beat you with his shot making, and he showed that tonight.
Hitting the most important shots of the game. Our final score, 67 for the Pasay Voyagers, 73 for the Zamboanga Sikat. Let's go courtside to Mika.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Paeng. Napakaganda ng showdown na pinakita nyo sa amin nung dulo ng larong ito. No? Pero syempre, as usual, inaasahan naman namin na ganun ang performance mo with 18 points. Kumusta ka pagkatapos ng larong ito?
Ayun, masaya pero hindi pa kami kontento sa game na to. Kailangan namin mag-prepare kasi malapit na yung regular season. Naging compose lang kami nung last kaya nakuha namin yung panalo.
Napag-usapan mo yung going into the regular season. Gusto ko lang malaman, kumusta yung relationship nyo ni Jan Felicilda so far? No? Sa practices, nakita ko ang ganda ng camaraderie nyo pag mga dulo na ng laro.
Ayun, so far, okay naman kami. 2 days na kami magkasama sa training. Tapos yung pangatlong araw sa laro. Ayun, maganda naman yung chemistry namin. Saka, nung high school, nakakalaban ko na rin yun si Jan. Kaya parang same kami ng playing style at running ganyan. Kaya hindi na rin bago sa akin.
Exciting ang Season 8 para sa Zamboanga. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord na nakuha namin itong panalo na to. Binigyan na kami ng lakas para makuha to. Ayun, unang-una binabati ko si Congressman Ma'am Katchua, yung owner namin. Yung mga sumusuporta sa Zamboanga, binabati namin kayo. Binabati ko rin yung family ko na walang sawang sumusuporta, yung girlfriend ko, yung mga taga San Rafael, Northern Samar, mga teammates ko na pinaghirapan namin yung laro na to. And
Maraming salamat, Paeng, Ari, and of course, congratulations to the rest of the Zamboanga Sikat. Ken Coach Chris.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Paeng Are leaving it all out in the last game of their preseason, getting them the win para dito sa Zamboanga. Up next, the Abra Solid North Weavers will be tested here going up against the Gensan Warriors to cap off this Saturday triple header. Stay tuned mga kaliga, magbabalik ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.